All right, thank you guys. Happy Thursday to you. If you really find yourself enjoying this video here today, please feel free to give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. And if you haven't already hit that subscribe button below, please feel free to do that right now as well. I greatly appreciate it. And with that, guys, we are going to dive into some, what are we doing here? College basketball. College basketball action here for Thursday. And once again, happy Thursday to you. Weekend's right around the corner. Now, we're going to start off with Oregon State versus USC. That's going to be a 5 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Galen Center. USC's minus 12 on their home court. Totals 136.5, juice to the over. And if you like the Oregon State Beavers and an upset on the road here, they're plus 550 to win this one outright on the money line. Now, we're 3-0 in our last 3 daily best plays on patreon.com/Brock page. We're also 5-1 in our last 6 daily best plays on that Patreon site as well. And if you want to access today's daily best play, it's only going to cost you just $1.99. And of course, that's when you click the link in the description section below. We currently have a community of over 1,175 paid members who are signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/Brock page. Now, Oregon State's on a 3-game winning streak. They actually beat USC back on the 19th during that stretch, and they held the Trojans to just 56 total points in that victory. Now, the Beavers are also 6-2 straight up in their last 8, and they successfully covered the number in their last 3 straight. The Beavers are holding their opponents to just 29% shooting from beyond the arc. Ethan Thompson scoring over 16 points a game along with 3 rebounds and 4 assists. Meanwhile, Jared Lucas is scoring 13 points a night himself along with 2 rebounds and 95% shooting from the foul line. Now they're taking on a USC squad who failed to cover the point spread in their last 3 straight. Just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. Now, the Trojans are also making just 62% of their free throws at home, and they connect on only 33% of their 3 balls. Now, total-wise, 3 out of USC's last 4 got over the number. Oregon State's 5-1 of the over in their last 6. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Oregon State Beavers plus 12 and the over 136.5. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines of personal leans out for Thursday's college basketball action. Once again, happy Thursday to you. The weekend is right around the corner. Now, before we go ahead and dive into some more free content right here on YouTube, I just have to quickly remind you once again that we are 3-0 in our last 3 daily best plays on patreon.com/Brock page. We're also 5-1 in our last 6 daily best plays in that same category. And you can actually unlock today's daily best play for just $1.99 when you click the link in the description section below. And just remember, guys, when you sign up for a membership on Patreon, you're going to get access to all the lesser expensive memberships absolutely free. So once again, when you sign up for one of my memberships on that Patreon website, you're going to instantly get access to all the lesser expensive tiers absolutely free. The cheaper memberships are included with your purchase. So, for example, if you get the $4.99 package here today, all the cheaper memberships and all the content that's in the cheaper memberships, you're going to have access to. And for those who are wondering what the difference is between my free picks here on YouTube and my Patreon site, well, what I do on Patreon is make life a lot easier for you as I break down the daily card and focus in on just 4 to 5 premium selections per day. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on, and I'll tell you this much, I'm having a lot more success betting on games that way versus wagering on every single game on the board, side and total, like I do here with my free content right here on YouTube. Now, guys, real quick, we currently have a community of over 1,175 paid members who are signed up and active on that site. So if you want to join those folks and, get in on the action, I'd love to have you. I think it's a great idea. I strongly recommend it. And link for that webpage is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/Brock page. And moving on here, guys, we got ourselves another pretty good matchup here in the Big Ten. It's going to be interesting to see Michigan State in action. Haven't seen them in a while. But anyway, Michigan State versus Rutgers, 7 p.m. Eastern start time in Piscataway. The Scarlet Knights are minus 3.5 at home. Numbers 141 and a hook. The Scarlet Knights lost 5 out of their last 6 ball games. They're also winless in their last 10 meetings with Michigan State. Rutgers, they allow nearly 72 points per contest on their home court. Now they're taking on a Spartan team who's won 2 out of their last 3. And that includes a 68-45 blowout of Rutgers during that stretch. Now the Spartans, once again, haven't played, in a few weeks. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they're catching 3.5 on the road in this spot here. They do average 76 points a game. Aaron Henry scoring 14 points a game along with, 6 boards and 4 assists. Now the 6'6" forward also has recorded 19 total blocks and 19 total steals thus far in the season. Meanwhile, junior Joey Hauser is also scoring a dozen a night himself along with 8 boards and a couple assists. Now when it comes to the scoring in this one, Sparty's 6-3 to the over in their last 9 against Rutgers. Meanwhile, the Scarlet Knights are 67% to the over this season at the Rutgers Athletic Center. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Michigan State Spartans plus 3.5 and the over 141 and a hook. All right, next contest, it is going to be Memphis versus SMU, and that's going to be an 8 p.m. Eastern start time. The Mustangs of SMU are minus 4 at home. Totals 142 flat. Now, SMU's lost 3 out of their last 5 ball games, and they went just 1-4 against the spread in those contests. The Mustangs have also failed to cover the number in 4 out of their last 7 home games on the season. They're taking on a Memphis team who's won their last 3 straight, 3-game winning streak. They also won 7 out of their last 10 ball games as well. And the Tigers have successfully covered the point spread in their last 3 straight also. They're in the top 30 with regards to rankings. They're in the top 30 in the country defensively in points allowed. They're also in the top 15 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, Memphis, they allowed just 62 points a game, and they also hold their opponents to just 28% shooting from beyond the arc. Now, Landers Nolly is scoring 13 points a night along with 3 boards and a couple assists. Nolly's also recorded 14 steals and makes over 86% of his free throws. Meanwhile, DJ Jeffries is scoring 11 points a night himself, along with 6 boards and a couple assists. Now, total-wise, 5 out of Memphis' last 6 ball games stayed under the posted number. They're 12-2 to the under overall for the season, by the way. Meanwhile, SMU saw 6 out of their last 10 meetings with Memphis stay under the line themselves. We're going to lean toward yet another underdog here. Give me the Memphis Tigers plus 4 and the under 142. All right, next contest. We're actually going to not do UAB Middle Tennessee. We're going to cover a game that's not on our big screen. I'm talking about TCU versus Kansas, and that's going to be an 8 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Allen Fieldhouse. Now, Kansas is minus 15.5. I'm sorry, they're minus 15 at home. Numbers 136.5. The Jayhawks are on a 3-game losing streak, and they're just 2-4 against the number in their last 6. Kansas is making just 42% of their field goals at home, and they gave up 75 points or more in 4 out of their last 6 ball games. Now, one more thing, Kansas is covering just 33% of their ball games at home this year. They're taking on a TCU squad who's won 5 of 6 away from their home court this season themselves. The Horned Frogs are allowing just 69 points per contest, and they hold their opponents to just 30% shooting from downtown. R.J. Nembhard is scoring over 17 points a game for TCU, along with 4 boards and 4 assists. The junior guard has also recorded 15 total steals defensively. Meanwhile, Mike Miles is also scoring nearly 14 a night himself, 4 rebounds and 3 assists a game for the 6'1 freshman. Now, when it comes to the number in this one, TCU saw 7 out of their last 10 meetings with Kansas get over the total. The Jayhawks are 6-1 to the over in their last 7 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the underdog TCU Horned Frogs, plus 15, and the over 136.5. All right, next ball game, it is going to be Wyoming versus San Diego State, 9 p.m. Eastern start time. Now, the San Diego State Aztecs are minus 16. Totals 143 juice to the under. The Aztecs are just 2-4 against the number in their last 6 ball games. 3-5 against the spread on their home court. San Diego State, they're shooting just 43% from the field at home, and they failed to cover the number in 6 out of their last 9 conference games. Now they're taking on a Wyoming squad who's on a 3-game winning streak themselves, and they've gone 4-2 straight up on the road this season. The Cowboys are in the top 10 in the country in shooting the 3 ball on the road. They also find themselves scoring nearly 80 points per contest. Marcus Williams is scoring 17 points a game along with 3 boards and 4 assists. Meanwhile, Hunter Maldonado is scoring nearly 14 points a game himself along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Wyoming's last 3 stayed under the number. Meanwhile, the Aztecs saw 3 out of their last 5 stay under the line themselves, throwing out their most recent outing. I'm going to lean toward another underdog. Give me the Wyoming Cowboys plus 16 and the under 143. All right, next contest, it is going to be Stanford versus Arizona, 10 p.m. Eastern tip-off. Now, Arizona's minus 8 with the total at 143.5. The Wildcats are on a 3-game winning streak, 7-2 straight up in their last 9. Arizona's in the top 25 in offensive rebounding, and they also find themselves scoring over 80 points a game. Now, James Akinjo is scoring over 14 points a game along with 2 boards and 6 assists. The junior from Oakland has also recorded 26 total steals. Meanwhile, Jamar Baker Jr. scoring a dozen a night himself for the Wildcats. 3 rebounds and a couple assists for the 6'5 junior. Now they're taking on a Stanford team who dropped 2 out of their last 3. And they also failed to cover the point spread in 7 out of their last 10 away from home. The Cardinal has also lost their last 10 straight at the McHale Center at Arizona. And when it comes to the total on this one, Stanford saw their last 6 straight ball games all get over the line, 80% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, the Wildcats went 5-1 to the over in their last 6 themselves, 80% to the over in their last 10 as well. We're not going to lean toward an underdog in this one. Give me the Arizona Wildcats minus 8 and the over 143.5. And with that, guys, we are going to dive into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Cal versus Arizona State, 11 p.m. Eastern start time at the Desert. The Arizona State Sun Devils are minus 8.5 at home. Numbers 144 flat. And if you like the Cal Golden Bears in an upset on the road here, they're plus 285 for some money line cash. Now, Cal successfully covered the point spread in their last 3 straight. They also went 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. They garnered marquee covers over the likes of USC and UCLA during that span. Now, Cal is also giving up just 69 points a game, and they're led by senior Ryan Bentley, who's scoring over 10 points a night, along with 4 rebounds and a couple assists. Now, Mikhail Foreman is also averaging double digits a game himself, along with 2 boards and a couple assists. Now, the senior guard is also making nearly 89% of his free throws. Now, they're taking on an Arizona State team who's on a 6-game losing streak, and they failed to cover the point spread in 7 out of their last 8. Now, the Sun Devils are just 1-5 straight up on their home court, and they also failed to cover the number in 5 out of those 6 home games. You know, guys, for me, when it comes to Arizona State, it really doesn't make sense how bad they are this year. They got a pretty good roster. But anyway, the Sun Devils allow a staggering 80 points a night on their home court. And when it comes to the total in this one, 2 out of Arizona State's last 3 got over the number, 4-2 to the over this season on their home court. Meanwhile, the Golden Bears saw 9 out of their last 10 ball games on the other side of things get over the line themselves. Why not? Another underdog. Give me the Cal Golden Bears plus 8.5 and the over 144. And with that, guys, we are going to dive into our quick pick recap, once again brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 3-0 in our last 3 daily best plays on that site, 5-1 straight up in our last 6 picks in that same category. I like Oregon State plus 12 over 136.5. I like Michigan State plus 3.5 over 141 and a hook. I like Memphis plus 4 under 142. I'm also leaning toward TCU plus 15 over 136.5. I like Wyoming plus 16 under 143. I also like the Arizona Wildcats minus 8 over 143.5. Before I give you this next and final game for the show, one final reminder that you can access today's daily best play on Patreon for just $1.99. by clicking the link in the description section below. Please feel free to smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video. You can also subscribe right now if you haven't done so already. I'm going to lean toward the Cal Golden Bears plus 8.5 and the over 144. And with that, guys, we are going to dive into some shout-outs from our top 10 commenters over the past couple of days. Shout out to Khabib Mustafa, Sports Gambling Daily, Chal Henrique, Leslie Botang, Tony G. I wonder if that's the same Tony G that the famous poker player that used to really grind Phil Hellmuth's gears. Anyway, shout out to Tony G, Dat Wong, Donald Loper, Marco Blanco, Damon Rhodes, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Indiana Temper. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up, and then the first of every month following that. Also, keep in mind if you end up getting a package here today, all the cheaper memberships that are on my Patreon site, they're going to be included with your purchase. They're going to be free. So basically what I'm trying to say is if you get the $4.99 package, all the cheaper packages that are on that website, they're going to be free. You're going to be able to access the content from those packages. That's included with your purchase. But anyway, guys, most importantly, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.